Hello, Who Immortal Tade family, and we come back to our channel in the last 24 hours we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring the memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Johnny Thunders, 1952-1991, the life and legacy of a punk rock icon. Early life and musical beginnings. John Anthony Genzale Jr., known professionally as Johnny Thunders, was born on July 15, 1952, in Queens, New York. Raised in a working-class Italian-American family, Thunders developed an early interest in music, particularly rock and roll. Inspired by artists like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles, he began playing guitar in his teens, quickly developing a distinctive style characterized by raw energy and emotive playing. In the late 1960s, Thunders formed his first band, The Rain, which played in local venues around New York City. His performances caught the attention of the burgeoning punk scene, leading to opportunities to perform with other local bands. During this period, he adopted the stage name Johnny Thunders, a nod to his electrifying performances and the thunderous sound of his guitar. The New York Dolls, a punk rock revolution. In 1971, Thunders joined the New York Dolls, a glam rock band that would become one of the most influential acts in the early punk rock movement. The band's androgynous style, combined with their raw sound and rebellious attitude, set them apart from the mainstream music scene. Thunders' guitar work and charismatic stage presence were central to the band's identity. The New York Dolls released their self-titled debut album in 1973, followed by Too Much Too Soon in 1974. Both albums received critical acclaim, but failed to achieve commercial success in the United States. However, their influence was profound, inspiring countless bands in the punk and glam rock genres. Thunders' time with the Dolls was marked by internal tensions and substance abuse, leading to his departure from the band in 1975. The Heartbreakers, punk rock's raw energy. After leaving the New York Dolls, Thunders formed the Heartbreakers in 1975, alongside former Dolls drummer Jerry Nolan and bassist Richard Hell. The band aimed to bring back the raw energy of early rock and roll, infused with the rebellious spirit of punk. Their debut album, LAMF, 1977, is considered a classic of the genre, despite issues with its production. The album's title, an abbreviation for Like a Motherfucker, encapsulated the band's no-holds-barred approach to music. The Heartbreakers gained a significant following in the UK, touring with bands like the Sex Pistols and The Clash. However, internal conflicts and Thunders' ongoing struggles with addiction led to the band's dissolution in 1978. Despite their brief existence, the Heartbreakers left an indelible mark on the punk rock scene. Solo career and collaborations. Following the breakup of the Heartbreakers, Thunders embarked on a solo career, releasing his debut album So Alone in 1978. The album featured contributions from notable musicians, including Steve Jones and Paul Cook of the Sex Pistols, as well as Phil Lynott of Thin Lizzy. So Alone received critical praise for its blend of punk energy and melodic sensibility. Throughout the 1980s, Thunders continued to release solo material, including In Cold Blood, 1983, Hurt Me, 1984, and Que Sera Sera, 1985. These albums showcased his evolving musical style, incorporating elements of rockabilly, glam, and acoustic balladry. Thunders also collaborated with various artists, including Paddy Paladin, with whom he released the album Copycats in 1988. In addition to his solo work, Thunders formed the band Gang War with former MC5 guitarist Wayne Kramer in the late 1970s. The band released a live album, Gang War, in 1990, capturing their raw, unfiltered sound. Final years and legacy. In the late 1980s, Thunders relocated to Europe, living in cities like Paris and Stockholm. Despite his personal struggles, he remained active in music, performing and recording until his untimely death. On April 23, 1991, Johnny Thunders was found dead in a hotel room in New Orleans, Louisiana. The official cause of death was an overdose of cocaine and methadone. However, some reports suggest that he was also suffering from advanced leukemia, which may have contributed to his decline. The circumstances surrounding his death have been the subject of speculation, with some suggesting foul play, though no conclusive evidence has emerged. Johnny Thunders' influence on punk rock and popular music is immeasurable. His raw guitar playing, emotive vocals, and rebellious spirit embodied the essence of punk. Despite his brief life and career, Thunders left behind a legacy of music that continues to inspire artists and fans around the world. Satyajit Ray, 1921-1992, the maestro of Indian cinema. Early life and artistic roots. Satyajit Ray was born on May 2, 1921, in Calcutta, now Kolkata, India, into a family steeped in artistic and literary traditions. His father, Sukumar Ray, was a renowned writer and illustrator, while his grandfather, Upendrakishore Ray Chowdhury, was a noted writer and publisher. Ray's early exposure to literature, art, and music profoundly influenced his creative sensibilities. Ray pursued his education at Presidency College in Calcutta, where he earned a degree in economics. Despite his academic background, his passion for the arts led him to a career in filmmaking. Before venturing into cinema, Ray worked as a commercial artist and illustrator, contributing to various publications, including the children's magazine Sandesh, which he later revived and edited. Cinematic breakthrough, the Apu trilogy. In 1955, Ray made his directorial debut with Pather Panchali, Song of the Little Road, an adaptation of Bibhutibhushan Bandyopadhyay's novel. The film tells the poignant story of a young boy named Apu and his impoverished rural family. Despite limited resources and a modest budget, Ray's meticulous attention to detail and humanistic storytelling resonated with audiences worldwide. Pather Panchali won several international awards, including the Best Human Document Award at the 1956 Cannes Film Festival, marking a significant milestone in Indian cinema. The success of Pather Panchali led to the creation of two sequels, Aparahito, 1956, and Apur Sansar, The World of Apu, 1959. Together, these films form the Apu trilogy, a cinematic masterpiece that chronicles Apu's journey from childhood to adulthood, exploring themes of poverty, aspiration, and the human condition. The trilogy is lauded for its realistic portrayal of Indian society and its universal appeal. Expanding horizons, diverse filmography. Following the success of the Apu trilogy, Ray continued to explore various genres and themes in his filmmaking. His film Jalsaghar, The Music Room, 1958, delves into the decline of a zamindar, landlord, who clings to his aristocratic lifestyle amidst changing times. The film is noted for its rich visual composition and the use of classical music to enhance the narrative. In Mahanagar, The Big City, 1963, Ray examines the evolving roles of women in urban society through the story of a middle-class woman who becomes the primary breadwinner for her family. The film is celebrated for its nuanced portrayal of social dynamics and gender roles. Ray also ventured into the realm of fantasy and science fiction with films like Gopi Gain Bagabain, 1969, and its sequels. These films blend elements of folklore and imagination, showcasing Ray's versatility as a storyteller. Additionally, his adaptation of Satyajit Ray's own detective character, Feluda, into films like Sonar Kela, The Golden Fortress, 1974, and Joy Baba Felunath, The Elephant God, 1978, brought a new dimension to Indian cinema. Literary contributions and illustrations. Beyond filmmaking, Ray was a prolific writer and illustrator. He authored numerous short stories, novels, and essays, many of which were published in Bengali. His literary works often featured recurring characters such as Feluda, a detective, and Professor Shanku, a scientist. These characters became iconic in Bengali literature and were later adapted into films and television series. Ray's writing was characterized by its clarity, wit, and depth. He had a keen interest in puzzles and wordplay, which is evident in his stories. His literary works have been translated into several languages, earning him recognition beyond India. As an illustrator, Ray brought his artistic sensibilities to his literary works. He designed the covers and illustrations for many of his books, infusing them with his unique style. His contributions to children's literature were particularly significant, as he revived the magazine Sandesh, which had been founded by his grandfather. Under his editorship, the magazine became a platform for young readers, featuring stories, illustrations, and puzzles. Musical compositions and film scores. Ray's involvement in music was integral to his filmmaking process. He composed the scores for many of his films, blending traditional Indian music with Western classical influences. His compositions are known for their subtlety and emotional resonance, enhancing the narrative without overpowering it. In films like Jalsagar, the music plays a pivotal role in conveying the protagonist's inner turmoil and the cultural milieu of the time. Ray's ability to integrate music into his storytelling set him apart from many of his contemporaries. Recognition and awards. Ray's contributions to cinema and literature have been widely recognized both in India and internationally. He received numerous awards throughout his career, including the Padma Shri, 1958, Padma Bhushan, 1965, and Padma Vibhushan, 1976, which are among India's highest civilian honors. In 1984, he was honored with the Dadasaheb Phalke Award, India's most prestigious film award. Internationally, Ray received the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival for Aparajito, 1956, and the Golden Bear at the Berlin International Film Festival for Mahanagar, 1963. In 1992, he was awarded an honorary Academy Award by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, recognizing his lifetime achievements in film. Paulette Goddard, 1910–1990. A multifaceted Hollywood icon. Early life and entry into show business. Paulette Goddard was born Marion Levy on June 3, 1910, in New York City. Raised in Kansas City, Missouri, she began her career as a child fashion model and performer in several Broadway productions as a Ziegfeld girl. Her early exposure to the entertainment industry laid the foundation for her future success in Hollywood. Rise to stardom in Hollywood. Goddard's breakthrough in Hollywood came in 1936, when she was cast by Charlie Chaplin as his leading lady in modern times. Her role as the Gamin, an orphan girl who becomes the tramp's companion, garnered her critical acclaim and established her as a rising star. She reprised her role with Chaplin in The Great Dictator, 1940, further solidifying her status in the film industry. Paramount Pictures and major film roles. In the late 1930s, Goddard signed a contract with Paramount Pictures, becoming one of the studio's biggest stars. She appeared in several notable films, including The Cat and the Canary, 1939, The Women, 1939, Northwest Mounted Police, 1940, and Reap the Wild Wind, 1942. Her performances showcased her versatility, transitioning from comedic roles to dramatic portrayals with ease, Academy Award nomination, and continued success. In 1943, Goddard received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress for her role in So Proudly We Hail, 1943, where she portrayed a nurse serving in the Battle of the Philippines. This recognition highlighted her talent and dedication to her craft. She continued to deliver memorable performances in films such as Kitty, 1945, and Unconquered, 1947, further cementing her place in Hollywood's golden age. Transition to independent projects and production. In the early 1950s, Goddard began to explore opportunities beyond acting. She starred in the Mexican-American film The Torch, 1950, where she also served as an associate producer. This marked the beginning of her involvement in film production, showcasing her multifaceted talents in the industry. Personal life and later years. Goddard's personal life garnered significant media attention. She was married to Charlie Chaplin from 1936 to 1942, and later to actor Burgess Meredith from 1944 to 1949. In 1958, she married writer Erich Maria Remarque, and the couple moved to Switzerland, where she largely retired from acting. She made occasional appearances in films and television, including a role in the Italian film Time of Indifference, 1964. Legacy and contributions to film soundtracks. While Goddard was primarily known for her acting and producing roles, her contributions to film soundtracks were notable. She performed songs in several of her films, adding to the musical landscape of Hollywood cinema. Her involvement in the music aspects of film further demonstrated her versatility and commitment to the art of filmmaking. Conclusion. Paulette Goddard's career spanned over 4 decades, during which she became a prominent figure in Hollywood. Her talent as an actress, her ventures into film production, and her contributions to film soundtracks left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. Through her diverse roles and enduring legacy, Goddard remains an iconic figure in the history of cinema. Otto Preminger, 1905-1986, the auteur who challenged Hollywood norms. Early life and education. Otto Ludwig Preminger was born on December 5, 1905, in Visnitz, Bukovina, Austria-Hungary, now Visnitsia, Ukraine. His father, Marcus Preminger, was the Attorney General of the Austrian Empire, and his mother, Bertha, was a trained pianist. Otto was raised in a culturally rich environment that fostered his early interest in the arts. Preminger pursued a law degree at the University of Vienna, graduating in 1928. However, his passion for the theater led him to study acting under the renowned director Max Reinhardt. He began his career in the theater, directing and acting in various productions. In 1931, he directed his first German-language film, Die große Liebe, The Great Love, and in 1933, he became the producer-director of Vienna's theater in der Josefstadt. Emigration to the United States. In 1935, Preminger, who was Jewish, emigrated to the United States due to the rise of Nazi power in Europe. He became a U.S. citizen in 1943. Initially, he staged the Broadway play Libel, 1935-36, before transitioning to Hollywood. His first American films were 2 B movies at 20th Century Fox, Under Your Spell, 1936, and Danger Love at Work, 1937. After being fired early in the filming of Kidnapped, 1938, Preminger returned to the stage and directed several plays on Broadway, including Margin for Error, 1939-40, in which he cast himself as a Nazi. With his Austrian accent, imposing build, and intimidating persona, Nazi characters became Preminger's specialty. Breakthrough in Hollywood. Laura and film noir. Preminger's Hollywood breakthrough came in 1944 with the film noir classic Laura. The film, starring Gene Tierney and Dana Andrews, tells the story of a detective who becomes obsessed with a woman whose murder he is investigating. Laura was a critical and commercial success, establishing Preminger as a talented and tough director. His volatile temper earned him the nicknames Otto the Terrible and Otto the Ogre, but it also signaled his commitment to his artistic vision. Following Laura, Preminger directed several notable films, including Fallen Angel, 1945, The 13th Letter, 1951, and Angel Face, 1952. These films continued his exploration of complex characters and moral ambiguity, hallmarks of the film noir genre, challenging Hollywood censorship. In the 1950s, Preminger became known for challenging Hollywood's censorship rules, known as the Production Code. He pushed boundaries by addressing controversial topics in his films. In 1953, he released The Moon is Blue, a romantic comedy that included the words virgin and pregnant, which were considered taboo. Preminger refused to remove these words, and the film was released without the Production Code seal of approval. This move was a significant step toward the relaxation of censorship in Hollywood. In 1955, Preminger directed The Man with the Golden Arm, starring Frank Sinatra as a drug addict. The film was one of the first Hollywood productions to deal with heroin addiction openly. Its frank portrayal of drug use led to a re-evaluation of censorship standards in the industry. In 1959, he directed Anatomy of a Murder, a courtroom drama that dealt with rape and sexual violence. The film's realistic portrayal of legal proceedings and its unflinching examination of moral ambiguity were groundbreaking. The film was nominated for several Academy Awards and is considered one of the best courtroom dramas ever made. Later, career and political themes. In the 1960s, Preminger continued to tackle controversial subjects. In 1960, he directed Exodus, an epic film about the founding of the State of Israel. The film was notable for acknowledging screenwriter Dalton Trumbo, who had been blacklisted during the McCarthy era. This was a bold statement against the Hollywood blacklist and a significant moment in the industry's history. In 1962, Preminger directed Advise and Consent, a political drama that explored the complexities of American politics and the confirmation process for a U.S. Secretary of State. The film was notable for its portrayal of homosexuality, a topic that was rarely addressed in Hollywood films at the time. In 1963, he directed The Cardinal, a drama set in the Vatican hierarchy. The film was nominated for several Academy Awards and was another example of Preminger's willingness to tackle complex and controversial subjects. Directorial style and legacy. Preminger was known for his meticulous and efficient filmmaking. He often completed his films on time and on budget, a rarity in Hollywood. He preferred long takes and minimal cuts, allowing actors to perform without interruption. This approach gave his films a naturalistic feel and allowed for more nuanced performances. Despite his liberal social outlook, Preminger became notorious for his domineering and abrasive personality, his explosive temper, and his dictatorial manner on set, which earned him nicknames like Otto the Terrible and Otto the Ogre. It has been speculated that his tyrannical persona and abusive behavior were, to some extent, a calculated pose, intended to garner publicity, keep his cast and crew under his control, and keep. Howard Cosell, 1918-1995, a multifaceted media icon. Early life and career. Howard William Cosell was born on March 25, 1918, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Raised in Brooklyn, New York, he pursued a law degree at New York University, graduating in 1940. During World War II, he served in the U.S. Army Transportation Corps, achieving the rank of major. After the war, Cosell practiced law, but soon transitioned into broadcasting, beginning his career in the mid-1950s. He became a prominent figure in sports journalism, known for his distinctive voice and bold commentary. Acting career. Cosell's unique personality and fame led him to appear in various acting roles, often portraying himself. His first significant acting appearance came in Woody Allen's Bananas, 1971, where he humorously portrayed a sports announcer covering a political assassination. He went on to appear in Saturday Night Live, 1975, hosting an early episode of the groundbreaking sketch comedy show, The Odd Couple, making a notable cameo as himself in this beloved sitcom. Sleeper, 1973, another Woody Allen classic where Cosell's voice and personality were used to comedic effect. That's My Mama and the Dean Martin Show, among many other variety programs. Cosell's frequent appearances on talk shows like The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson and The Dick Cavett Show further blurred the lines between sportscaster and entertainer, producing and behind-the-scenes work. While primarily known as a performer and commentator, Cosell also ventured into production. He served as executive producer or content consultant for several sports specials and documentaries during his time at ABC, helping shape content around boxing, football, and human interest sports stories. He wasn't just a talking head. Cosell was deeply involved in shaping sports journalism. His efforts to present stories with context and dignity influenced future sports documentaries and programs like ESPN's 30 for 30. In many ways, he prefigured the modern sports journalist, part analyst, part cultural critic, part performer. Soundtrack contributions. While Cosell wasn't a musician, his voice became a kind of musical element in its own right. From film soundtracks that used his distinctive narration to parody recordings, his unmistakable delivery became pop culture shorthand for sports commentary. He lent his voice to music albums like Ali and His Gang vs. Mr. Tooth Decay, a bizarre children's record from 1976 featuring Cosell, Ali, and Frank Sinatra. Television variety specials, where he introduced performers with theatrical flair. Musical spoofs and comedy sketches, with his cadence mimicked by everyone from Billy Crystal to Rich Little. In this way, Cosell's soundtrack contribution wasn't musical but vocal. His voice was, quite literally, the backdrop to an era. Author and media critic, Cosell was also a prolific writer. His best-selling autobiography, Cosell, 1973, and follow-up books like I Never Played the Game, 1985, offered readers a no-holds-barred look at the sports industry and media establishment. In the latter, Cosell famously turned against the very industry that made him, criticizing network sports for becoming the toy department of journalism. He exposed racism, corruption, and sycophancy in professional sports broadcasting, burning many bridges, but staying true to his personal creed of honesty. Legacy, death, and cultural impact. Howard Cosell passed away on April 23, 1995, at the age of 77, following years of declining health due to heart disease and complications from a brain tumor. But even in death, his influence endured. Cosell revolutionized sports broadcasting, introducing a voice of intellect and confrontation to a field that once shied from controversy. He proved that sports were more than just games. They were cultural moments worthy of serious analysis. His legacy is felt today in the work of sportscasters like Bob Costas and Bryant Gumbel, the presence of sports commentary in major social issues, from kneeling during anthems to athlete activism, the way media now blends commentary, storytelling, and performance. Final thoughts. Howard Cosell didn't just change how sports were covered, he changed who could cover them. He brought depth, controversy, and theatricality to the airwaves, refusing to be a bland mouthpiece. Whether acting in films, producing documentaries, or dominating broadcast booths, Cosell's voice echoed not just in stadiums, but in the culture at large. He was loud, he was abrasive, he was unforgettable. And above all, he told it like it was. I have tried to highlight some important issues on behalf of our channel. Please support me. I am ending today's video by inviting you to watch the next video. Goodbye.